I am Rando, and I have a let and review of Darkstar versus EmeraldPie. Still
RoboScout, I don't know what's happening, but your audio quality took a dive in the moment that we joined the race channel. But today we do have an interesting race for you. This is going to be EmeraldPie versus Darkstar. There's not too much in the way of runners' agreements. We have Spring Ball enabled, and Power Bomb expansions are doubled, so you get 2 extra Power Bombs for each expansion instead of 1. You try saying something now?
Hello, something.
Okay, that sounds a lot better.
Alright.
You are on push to talk, right?
I'm just on regular detect mic.
Please switch to push to talk. Anyways, important to note, our preset for today is called a fighting chance. The basic gist is that we are guaranteed to spawn in a boss room. It could be any boss in the game, as long as we can get enough starting items to logically get out.
And of course,
this
that still won't save Hive Mecha from being skipped.
Of course. Phase on
Mines! Alright!
Elite Research, let's go.
Elite quarters, elite quarters, elite quarters. Ah!
Ice Beam, Morph Ball, Power Bomb, and Boost Ball. I do apologize, the tracker is really slow at registering changes, so I can only mark like 1 item at a time. My workaround is to load 4 separate trackers into my browser, but I forgot to do that before the race started and they take a long time to load.
That's one way to do it.
It's actually surprisingly effective.
Darkstar and Emerald showing some slightly different strategies to how to handle the phase on Elite. Darkstar immediately just blew up the Power Bomb container, whereas EmeraldPie decided to get rid of the surrounding pirates first, and because of that, EmeraldPie was able to pull off an AI manip to prevent the phase on Elite from attacking, which makes a lot of time when one of phase on Elite likes to spend a lot of time with the barrier. As such, EmeraldPie ended up getting out of that fight a lot faster than Darkstar did. Darkstar, EmeraldPie checking the path to security access, but turning around as they don't have Wave Beam, so we're going to have to be turning around and heading upwards instead.
We do have Morph Ball, right?
They start with Boost Ball, so I'd imagine so. Otherwise, they don't exactly have many other checks. Rose having to use power bombs to get out of the boost spinner because they don't have bombs. That's something you don't see every day. Usually you have bombs when you get down to phase on mines, but they are technically not required. That is Wave Beam at the top of Elite Research.
Indeed, that is going to be our Wave Beam, very useful. We are going to need that to get basically anywhere.
Yeah, when you're starting in phase on mines, you kind of need Wave Beam in order to travel around.
I'm gonna guess very soon in main Gloria. Wait, no. Can you do main Gloria without a spider ball in vanilla, or in our settings?
I am not sure. I would have to check Randomania for that.
Oh, that's too quiet. Let me turn that up. Alright, there we go. I do apologize, it's just a bit hectic. We don't have any trackers today, so I'm managing all this myself. Thankfully, I do have Rotoscope to cover for me and commentary to it.
Yep. Looks like main quarry is not unlogic without Spider Ball in these settings. It requires intermediate slope jump, which does make sense. That is a decently tricky slope jump.
Alright, I figured as much. But I'm kind of wondering now. I think the play's gotta be to go deeper into mines. We can't go to Magmore.
Well, there is security.
Oh, that's
right here.
right. There's this item here. Completely slipped my mind.
Could also see them traveling out of mines into Life Grove. Those are
That's X-ray.
Well, I guess not Life Grove, but that X-ray does give them access to Great Tree Chamber. Theoretically, since they have boost ball, they could also travel into the Late Chozo elevator.
Ooh, that is true.
EmeraldPie taking the safety save, it seems.
Wait, you mean the Lake Talon elevator?
Yeah, head up through the mines elevator into Great Tree Hall, then use boost ball to go through into Upper Great
through
Tree
the
Hall,
bars.
then head into Late Talon or Late
Yeah.
Chozo.
Yeah, that works. That works. Sorry, my brain forgot that the elevator in main quarry goes to Talon for some reason. I thought that one went to Magmore too. I got it mixed up with it.
Nah, that's that's BPC.
We are still going to check main quarry and probably going to pick it up as well if it's something useful.
Given that X-ray, I'm guessing our next logical item is going to be in Great Tree Chamber.
Those are our first missiles, so we're probably going to be grabbing those. This slope jump is a little tricky, but it isn't actually that tough. I managed to do that when I was putting together the DB, and I am not a pro speedrunner.
Yeah, that is intermediate logic, so...
It's pretty doable, though.
Yeah, pretty doable, but
you really don't need that much. The slope jumps in Prime are honestly way easier than the slope jumps that you see people use in Echoes. That's my opinion. It's gonna be X-ray for Darkstar now as well.
Yep. I am curious if we'll read that, because that does seem to be strongly hinting a Great Tree Chamber play to me.
I don't know. I'm thinking Life Grove Tunnel, because we have X-ray.
No regular
we
bombs.
Have boost ball.
Unfortunately, we seem to be having some issues with the restream right here.
Yeah, that is no good.
That ice beam door on the
yeah,
right.
you're right. We don't have bombs. I forgot about that little lip in the tunnel before you get to the half pipe.
Yep.
You're completely right. Hopefully EmeraldPie doesn't forget.
Yeah, that would be quite embarrassing. That would mean we would like... Oh, they did take the safety save in main course. They wouldn't be losing that much progress. We could also just see them wall boost in, which would be quite impressive.
Oh, that is true. Wall boosts are always a pain. Oh, there's
Oh,
bombs.
no necessary anymore. Great Tree Chamber had bombs.
So yeah, now Life Grove is just completely unlogic. Life Grove Tunnel, it's a solid 3 items. And by the way, this trick that EmeraldPie is doing right now is actually in logic. You just have to jump on top of the spider track. It's not actually as difficult as it looks. Your hitbox is sort of cubic in Metroid Prime, so it doesn't really matter precisely where you're standing on it. It's actually, again, a lot easier than it looks.
As a fun fact, in
stuff.
addition to being cubic, it also never rotates. There are
Yes,
several
it's what's
tricks.
called an axis-aligned bounding box. That's the industry term.
Yep. But funny fact, but what that means is that there are actually several tricks in this game that would not work if the room was rotated 45 degrees.
Oh, that's not fun. That's a really fun fact.
Yep. Crossways, the big example Toaster Party loves to mention. The trick to just jump into that room, that would not work if the room was rotated 45 degrees.
That makes sense. So, I wasn't paying the closest attention, but I'm pretty sure Life Grove and Tunnel were dead.
Yeah, that just seemed to be lots of missiles.
Yeah. EmeraldPie making good use of the spring ball already, which you always want to see. Hopefully Darkstar is also cognizant of that spring ball and makes good use of it.
It definitely can make an impact. There are at minimum a few tricks and bomb jumps you can use Spring Ball to make much easier.
Yeah, spring ball is just always faster than a bomb jump if you can substitute the one for the other. You can also see some spring ball specific tricks. You'll see this mostly with some of our more experienced players who run Trilogy, which is where spring ball is a standard feature.
Yep.
A lot of our GameCube runners don't have a lot of tricks. Don't have a lot of trick knowledge with Trilogy, but definitely it can come into play.
Yeah, it's definitely a factor. It's not just a quality of life feature.
Absolutely, there's a lot of really neat tech. I think it's definitely something that's worth learning to use. And Darkstar now gets the bombs as well. EmeraldPie immediately taking the elevator to Talon.
Yep. Seems to be
He's
heading
gonna take them to the frigate.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it looks like to me. Probably play for Artifact Temple into, I would imagine, in front of Chozo. We'll also get the item in Overgrown Cavern while we're here. And I assume FCS as well. That looks like a Metroid. Which, if you're not familiar with the Randomizer, is our sort of nothing item. We take a few items out of the pool when we make the seeds, so by default those are replaced with those little nothings. Which, they do nothing at all except increase your percentage of the final screen.
Yeah, the real question at this point is going to be, where is the plasma beam? Because our runners started with 2 out of 3 beams very early on. This seed is going to be very open very early on. That's really going to raise some questions of where are the last few items our runners really need. We have a lot of progression in this game, and we are only 13 minutes in.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. The only major misses we have are the Spider Ball, that Various Suit, and yeah, Plasma. There's also a case to be made for Supers and Gravity, but those don't tend to come up that often.
Yeah, I'd say Supers come up more often than Spider does.
Supers are kind of a recent trend, I feel. I don't know if that's going to continue to hold.
Yeah. Varia and Plasma are definitely the two big ones, and with how this seed is laid
Absolutely.
out, both of them could be in many, many spaces, so this is definitely going to be a race to try and find those two. Although Varia is not required, and to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we, one
You
of the
could have a
runners
Magmor
never.
removed. That happens quite a bit.
Yeah, it's very possible considering neither of our runners started there, and we could also just see them build up enough E-tanks to not need Varia soon, and just,
We've already got 3.
yeah. Like, probably 6 or so, that's enough. You could, probably not 6, probably more like 8, but it's definitely possible with so much of the world open to just build up enough of an E-tank supply to just sprint through early Magmor and grab any artifacts that happen to be in there.
Yeah, but I don't know that our runners are going to be very comfortable with VMR. That's another nothing at Artifact Temple, by the way. Bit of an oddly colored one, but a nothing nonetheless.
The Notroids are all special to us.
EmeraldPie electing not to check hints immediately.
That is somewhat interesting considering they effectively beeline straight.
I'm surprised. I expected a much faster check.
I don't know. With how open this seed is, I would 100% be checking hints right away just so I could grab them on the off chance that I happen to run into the required items of Plasma and Phazon suit along the way. Because hints can at least give you an idea of where you want to go.
Yeah, honestly, I don't see how you're playing this seed without that kind of direction.
Yeah, because our runners can honestly go almost anywhere they want right now. I mean, except early Magmor, that's pretty much the only area locked off, but even Phendrana, you could just warp to start and take advantage of the fact that late Magmor is not actually superheated to just travel back there.
Upper Furnace was just a missile, it would appear. I haven't been following Darkstar's perspective too closely.
Yeah, they do seem to be taking a very different route than EmeraldPie through the world.
There's
That's
our
our
logical
missiles?
in Lower Furnace. That's
Definitely something.
notable. That would be the word I use. EmeraldPie is going to be doing the Arbor Chamber out of bounds. Darkstar getting a standable off of the Stone Toad here. Struggling with it a bit. This is one of the few things in the game that you can realistically slip off of, but manages to get it after a few tries. It's not that tough, but it's just a bit precise if you're trying to go fast.
It's one of those things where you kind of have to learn to feel it out considering the terrain is, invisible.
Yes, yes. EmeraldPie slightly struggling to find the hole. There we go. Whoop. Arbor Chamber not being kind to us. Oh, wait, no, there we go. Powerbomb expansion. That's nice, I guess. Now we're up to 6. Any early predictions for Plasma?
That is really hard to say, just considering it can be. It's really just could be almost anywhere. But if you ask me to throw out a location, I'm gonna say, what's that? That Fendrana room outside Thardis that connects both labs, early Fendrana and mines. I know it's one of the ruined areas, but it's the one that's
Ruined Courtyard.
Yeah, ruined courtyard. Yeah, that's my completely out of nowhere with no intel whatsoever prediction.
I'm gonna guess Lava Lake. What was that on the grapple ledge? Oh, there's an artifact in the half pipe. Let's see, does Tree have anything? EmeraldPie didn't get a good look. There's another E-Tank. We are really starting to form a collection now. We will have Wave Beam, so we can immediately go to Tower of Light.
Which in this seed in this tournament just really has been Tower of Progression.
Tower of Light has been an absolute hotspot.
Oh, we might get Central Dynamo.
I think the first one was Training Chamber, Burn Dome, so that's Zoid.
Storage Depot B.
Main Plaza. That's one we got. Root Gallery. He skipped over one. He skipped over one in the menu, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm crazy.
None of those artifacts seem anything bad, so... EmeraldPie just absolutely getting loaded up on E-Tanks right now. We very well might see a VMR play if this trend continues.
Yeah, again though, I'm not sure if these runners are gonna want to heat run, even if they can. It's entirely feasible, but I don't know if we're gonna
I mean, with how our runners don't know where Varia is, and with all the places Varia could be, it might be very worth it. But again,
the first
we don't
dash
know.
off of the Oculus, dash number 2. Very good. Back in bounds. And I believe we have one more. Ooh. Manages to catch themselves on the lower ledge.
Yep, that's all. That's
we can try again.
Does seem to be giving EmeraldPie some trouble.
This is a bit dicey. It's easy to fall down, but we managed to be holding it pretty well. There we go.
Yeah, fortunately they managed to avoid falling to the bottom of Tower of Light. It is a very long climb back up.
Yes, and it's very easy to fall down. That was actually a very good saves from Emerald.
Also, only a missile expansion in Tower of Progression. What happened to you, Tower of Progression?
Tower of Missiles, falling back on old habits.
Yep. I remember when Tower of Light couldn't have anything according to logic, because... Oh, there's Fireball. Yeah, I remember when Tower of Light couldn't have anything because developers of Randomizer couldn't figure out how to get the 40 missile requirements to work properly.
Yeah, even now ammo isn't quite where I'd like it to be. So there's no easy way to combine ammo types. It's not a huge problem for the Prime games because super missiles just cost normal missiles in Prime. But for Super
and
Metroid,
if you have missile launcher, you always have enough for a super missile.
Yes. So this is something that they got away with putting off for quite a while.
Yeah, as this tournament could tell you, That's not really a problem anymore. Tower of Light can very much have progression.
That's Wavebuster.
It's Wavebuster. Wavebuster's still reeling from its time in the spotlight last week where it was actually important. It is back to being not very useful.
EmeraldPie uses a bomb jump there instead of a spring ball, just briefly forgetting the options available. Meanwhile, Darkstar gets their first artifact. Anything in tan? Anything in tan? An E-tank. Oh, this is good movement in a tunnel. This isn't Piston Tunnel. I believe that's still tan.
It's one of the transport access ones.
Yeah, transport access to north is what I was talking about. That's.
Yep.
I just wasn't quite sure if the tunnel was part of a different room or not. Piston Tunnel, I know, is the one that's off of Training Chamber. Oh, that's a. Oh, for a second I thought that was a suit and vault, but no, that's just a Metroid. We're not going to stop to get that. Darkstar choosing to go through transport access north backwards. I have a lot of E already. We have like 9 tanks.
Yeah, Variant at this rate, probably not going to be much of a concern at this point. 9 E-tanks, I think, I don't know, maybe at least logically it's not much of an indication, but I feel like most runners would be capable of just doing a quick run through Magmor with that.
There's an ice spreader.
Yep, ice spreader. Again, not going to be as useful as it was last week, but ice spreader is definitely one of the more useful beam combos, so probably not upset to see that.
Oh, it's a visor? Thermal visor. Man, we're finding everything. This is concerning. This plasma hunt is getting bigger and bigger. I don't like it.
And you know what thermal visor puts in logic?
Thardus.
Thardus. There is still Phazon suit we also have to worry about, but with how got 3 artifacts are, we can probably at least grab the hint for that.
Yes, although it will be nice if we can grab it along the way. Zoid time. We're gonna get our artifact here. No reason to put it off. Actually, EmeraldPie is the one that didn't check their hints, right?
EmeraldPie has not checked hits, that is correct.
So this is a blind sword check, actually. And the artifact is on Zoid himself.
Yep, looks like it.
Is this Incinerator Tron feeling like a good fight so far?
Yep. Standing there, holding a charge shot. Very exciting business.
Okay, that was pretty good.
Yep, definitely on the faster end, though, of a very exciting fight.
Still not quite using Spring Ball to its full potential. Okay, now we get a hit check.
Training
TCA,
chamber.
not training chamber. Okay.
Central Dynamo.
And storage depot B, of course.
Yeah. Stone Toad. Alright, yeah, something was up with that Stone Toad. They were not hungry today.
We will be able to grab TCA, but only if EmeraldPie knows to dash for Magma Pool. Darkstar might know it as well, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that could actually be somewhat of a barrier to our runner's progression in this seed. Is Grapple Beam and Gravity Suit, which are the two items that make that check easy to do for most runners. They can be in many, many places, so being able to do that dash could actually have a significant impact on this.
Absolutely, absolutely. And these are runners that are pretty good, but it's definitely not guaranteed that they're going to be able to do that in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah,
not
that's
in the slightest.
Yeah, at least the runners do have a lot of E, so they're not in much danger of just having to take a trip back to the save station from too many lava baths.
Yeah, that's not really a concern. I'm checking Crossway, which is a missile.
It's interesting, our runners have mostly been doing pretty similar routing. We've been seeing some very similar sweeps of Chozo between the two of them, despite the fact that the seed is very open so far. I guess Chozo is somewhat the obvious answer of place you want to go in terms of check density, since it does have the most checks in the game. But it is still, we have still been seeing not that much route divergence, though I do believe Darkstar did clear out a lot of late Chozo earlier.
EmeraldPie is struggling to make this standable terrain onto the peg, as that sticks out of the wall. It is a bit thin, so they were kind of jumping a bit short there. It's kind of hard to judge the distance with X-ray. Manages to get it once we switch back to Combat Visor. Now, while Darkstar did do a lot of these checks that EmeraldPie is up to right now, I feel like the way they routed this was definitely a lot better for them.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see. Does seem like they're getting out of these checks at pretty much the same rate. Runners are, yeah, they're we've high-fiving right now in Upper Furnace.
I think we might see a save one.
I would not be surprised considering how many of the remaining artifacts are in mines.
That would be a really smart play. Not stopping at the save station, though. Probably gonna... Maybe we're gonna see an attempt at the magical dash.
Oh, looks like EmeraldPie's. Oh, well, never mind.
Considering Flagra? Looks like it for a second.
Yeah, definitely looked like it. Yeah. Well, in my opinion, Flagra is definitely not the play right now with how open the seat is.
Yeah, it's just a pure gamble to do something like that, and we do not need to do that.
I mean, it's definitely possible for Flagra to have something, but just from a statistical perspective, I think it's overwhelmingly likely that Flagra is not the right play right now.
Yeah, it's also just as likely that you, never lose by betting on red, but that doesn't make it sound financial advice.
Yeah, especially when Flagra just takes so much time to do compared to other checks. EmeraldPie having some fun with Shadow Pirates.
The way Pirate gives EmeraldPie a bit of a helping hand there.
Yeah. So helpful, those Wave Pirates. I'm somewhat curious why EmeraldPie has seemed to be going the long way around through lower mines as opposed to just heading straight to the new checks in upper mines, unless they're specifically planning on making any checks in the Life Grove area, which...
We already did.
Yeah, I wouldn't see why, considering we already did, but... I don't know, maybe they just really wanted to save.
That's understandable. It's been 40 minutes after all.
With how much E these runners have...
Can never be too safe. Makes a good dash over to waste disposal.
Yep.
Really effective use of the spring ball there.
Fortunately, it's Darkstar's time to experience the good old seconds per frame instead of frames per second.
2 more artifacts, Central Dynamo and TCA. It's a shame we didn't get this for the cosmonaut seed. That would have been fun. Boombox holds nothing for us today. Alright, Darkstar's video is back.
Alright. Very fittingly, they just switched off Ice Beam once they got back.
Unfrozen.
EmeraldPie just not caring about the Ice Pirates. Moving on.
Yep. Doors do not lock for these enemies. We can just move into the next room. It's not like they can follow us.
Yep.
What is that behind the ventilation?
That's just a
barrier?
missile, I think.
Okay, I thought I saw a bit of like a weird color there. Thanks for confirming. No, EmeraldPie wants it.
Oh, really? Huh.
The Bendesium grade is no more. It is
Just a missile. Alright.
Are we low? Also, you can't spring ball out of it. That's kind of like a thing that happens with the game. Maybe EmeraldPie just doesn't like the poison gas very much.
Yeah, that could definitely make sense.
It does like no damage, by the way. You're never at any risk from it. It's a little bit silly. Especially compared to how late in the game it comes. It's kind of funny how ineffective it is.
It's like a haunted house. They put it there and they made all the damage noises to scare you, but it really does not do much.
Yeah, it's completely harmless. Technically, Randomania actually does track that as a damage source for like runs. But that would only matter if you had like literally 1 health. Which you can do. You can absolutely do it that way if you really, really want to. No mace skip today. Did that look like a good maze to you?
I mean, I am not the maze expert here. I mean, generally they only went
little on the
around
long
half.
side.
Yeah, around like half, like only went through the left side, so that seems okay. I'd probably say that's around average. Ember was getting knocked around a bit, so probably not.
Yeah, that's
fastest.
more their performance rather than the maze itself.
Yeah.
These turrets do a ton of damage and a lot of knockbacks, so we do turn them off. Otherwise, they can kind of bully you and keep you from opening the door in a timely manner, just because you take the like recoil when you get hit by them. Which isn't quite the same thing as knockback. The recoil, like, it knocks your arm up so that you can't actually shoot. Very annoying when that happens. EmeraldPie is trying to look at what's in QA.
Yeah,
Not getting a great view.
I think I saw like a pixel or something. I think I saw like an orange pixel up there, so probably just a missile.
Yeah, it's probably going to head back to the save station and maybe warp to start. It's not going to warp that far, perhaps, but you know.
Yeah. Where's our fast artifact again? Oh, you're right. It's the
TCA.
yeah. So I'd probably just proceed into Pendrana right here.
Oh yeah, I'm actually probably just gonna go to PPC, go to the workstation elevator, and then move over to the quarantine elevator.
Yep.
Now, we do take the PPC elevator. We are also going to get to check workstation, which is nice. Darkstar, you can see completely ignoring the smog. You actually don't take damage in the entire room. Like, close to your doors, you're just completely unharmed by it.
Yep. EmeraldPie, going down.
Might check PCA while they're down
I mean,
here.
can't exactly check PCA without plasma.
Oh, that's true. You're right about that. I always forget that's a plasma door.
Unfortunately, going down again. EmeraldPie taking the long way up with the Spireball and PPC. Oh, not wanting to risk doing any more climbs upwards after those repeated knockdowns.
Yes, there's a lot of standable on the right side of the room from their current perspective.
Yep, you can use the girders.
Yeah, and they're very helpful for scaling this room in a timely manner. Gonna be waiting for the moving platform cycle.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that, like, a platform appears in this room if you don't have grapple beam, I don't know, that always just feels so weird to me. And like, I mean, for starters, you get grapple beam in that area anyway. You should not be leaving mines without grapple beam in the vanilla game. But then just they get, why even have the grapple nodes there if there's a platform anyways? I don't know, maybe it's a remnant of, I don't know, my personal pet theory in the past is that alongside Ice Beam, Grapple Beam was originally intended to be acquired far earlier in the game than it was. And perhaps that's just a remnant of that. They originally designed the room with the assumption that you would always grab Grapple when you went there, but then when Grapple was shifted, oh, that's
a
new
workstation.
Ooh.
It's like a dark color one, so maybe phase.
I think it was gravity? Yeah, I did not get a clear look. I would not be surprised if it's Phazon.
Likewise, I would not be surprised if it was gravity.
Of course, we could also both be wrong, and it actually was Varia. EmeraldPie is going for it, but that doesn't really say much. I imagine they would have gone for it even if it was gravity, considering TCA is one of the artifacts, and that just gives us pretty easy access.
Yeah. That was gravity.
Alright, so it is a gravity suit. EmeraldPie looks to be taking the safety save, which, considering we got 3 tanks out of 9, probably a good move.
Never hurts.
What's the point of having all the E if you can't use it? EmeraldPie saying no to Spider-Ball, we do not need you today.
Yeah, that's one of a few different spider ball skips that you can do in this game.
Yep.
There are some more. Like the one in Furnace, that's probably the most well-known one.
Did you know that Spider-Ball track is an 89-degree angle, and because Samus is a goat, she can just walk up 89-degree angles?
Yes, technically it is a slope instead of directly being perpendicular to the ground. You can, as a player, take advantage of that. Darkstar struggling with some of these turrets in PvC. Also not doing a lot of standable climbing. We can't open that cave right now, so we're just going to lay the power bomb to blow away that facade. To actually open the door, we do need plasma beam, so we're going to have to probably not come back, actually, but
yeah, unless it's phase-on suit there, I can't.
It could be. It could be.
Yeah. There's a missile in Hunter Cave. EmeraldPie trying to go for the save warp? I guess they're probably trying to head back and grab their last artifact. And then probably just go grab the Phazon suit hint. I don't know, with Plasma still up in the air, I feel like it probably would have been more time efficient to just clear out the rest of Fendrana. I don't know.
Yeah, that's my opinion as well.
This starting area, this is not exactly very close to Chozo and or just Artifact Temple.
Darkstar seems to be interested in plasma processing. What do you make of this?
I mean, personally, fine check to do it. Definitely has odds of being plasma. I'd be going in maximum check, so while I'm here, I'd definitely take the plasma processing.
Plasma processing, unfortunately, is not going to help us today.
Yep, that's just kind of the risk you run with these kind of things.
We are seeing Frigate from EmeraldPie. We won't be able to grab Biohazard, but we will be able to peek it.
Yep. If Biohazard has something important, that could be... Well, I imagine our runners would not be happy. It just has a missile.
Good news. Going from Frigate backwards has a pretty big benefit. You don't actually have to activate any of the conduits if you're on the wrong side of the door. You only have the conduits. You only need the conduits to be activated if you're moving forward. It doesn't.
In a regular seed, it also has the benefit of that you can effectively just skip the last quarter of it by warping to start. But with this seed and how we started in mines, that's not really an option for us.
Yes, our start is pretty out of the way.
Darkstar going for the VMR. Oh wait, never mind. This is just to get into Twin Fire.
Yes, that's just going to be one. Twin Fire's tunnel is not that much of a gun, I'm afraid to say.
Yeah. Darkstar seem to be just heading straight to early Talon Probably just to head into Chozo and grab artifact with that gravity suit.
Yeah.
Do we know what artifact Darkstar is missing outside of just the TCA one? Nope, never mind, they've got 5.
Yeah, I missed one, I guess. Too many things to track. I'm amazed I got everything else, to be honest.
Does seem like Darkstar probably has the advantage in this situation then, unless they decide to head back and search out Late Fendrana then later, because EmeraldPie spent a lot of time searching there for items and it didn't really have anything.
Yes, that is correct.
Well, there was also Freya. EmeraldPie has been doing some extra checks that really have not paid out well for them. What? Where's Darkstar going here? Have we not cleaned out this area? Oh, I'm guessing they're taking a safety save before heading into Lava Lake, which, even though it is very safe with Gravity Tank and all this E, can't blame them for being safe.
I believe we do have the standard progressive suit reduction model, so having just one suit is only a 10% reduction.
That is true.
Yes, yes. Nothing to scoff at, certainly, but not that in the grand scheme of things. Looks like a Metroid in the tree. Doing a bit of an arch up to get most of the way across the pit, finding something to stand on, and gravity jumping over here. And grab the speed tank on the way out. Or on the way in.
Yeah, either works, I guess.
No, I believe that room is actually going to unload and we have to break the wall again once we open the training chamber. I might be wrong, but okay, training chamber is just a missile.
Alright.
I think both of our runners actually got that at the same time.
I was holding hands for a bit right here. Never mind. EmeraldPie, going off for who knows what. Oh, looks like a plant play.
I guess EmeraldPie doesn't know the bomb jump to get over the gate. So we're just going to be scanning these emblems to open it up.
I mean,
it's not an easy one. It's not an easy one if you're not super experienced. This is one of the harder ones. I couldn't do it now if you quizzed me on it because I don't remember it.
I can do it, but sometimes it's not necessarily a matter of can't, it's a matter of consistency in a tournament race. You'd rather take the time that's slightly slower, but you know is going to work over just the try that you might do it, but you also might just spend like a minute straight on attempts.
Yes, that is correct.
Especially since it's a jump that you rather don't exactly want to be doing that often. Darkstar seems to be heading in for a fight with the Space Dragon.
Yes, fighting Ridley without plasma isn't ideal, but there are worse things we can do. We have the boost
Especially
ball.
with Boost Ball, and that's not that bad.
Roboscat, do you mind explaining why we care about the boost ball for the Ridley fight?
Yeah, so there's a funny little thing about the Ridley fight where in the first phase, Ridley is the only boss in the game that takes damage from Boost Ball. You might think, oh, Boost Ball, that's a big deal. Boost Ball isn't that useful in combat. How much boost damage does Boost Ball deal? I believe it's around like 50,000 per frame.
Yes, that is correct. That is the boot it is. Now, we can't actually instantly kill Ridley with this. There's a damage cap in place, so we can't actually take it beyond the phase transition.
Yeah,
but we have enough to immediately end. If we were to immediately boost into Ridley at the very start of the fight, it would take them to their final phase immediately.
Yeah. For reference, a fully charged shot of Power Beam does 50 damage, I believe. And, you know,
so that's
50,000 per frame.
charged shots every second.
Well, I think 10,000 charged shots every frame.
So 60,000 per second, right?
Oh yeah, 60,000 per, or 600,000 per second, I believe. A lot.
Well, no, if the charge beam does 50 and the boost ball does 50,000, then it does 1,000 charge shots per frame, 60,000 per second.
Oh, yeah, I guess. I can do math.
Yeah, that's fine. I can do math too. Not very well, but I can do it. And let's see, is Flogger rewarded? I'm leaning towards a no.
Yeah, I don't know. Andromeda just seems like the area that's much more likely to have things right now. And that is a Metroid.
Are we gonna see ghosts? Probably yes. We have charge beam.
Yeah,
we have the visor.
If Emerald went out of their way to do Flagra, they're probably in for the double duty of ghosts.
Yeah, I believe so. Misses that free hand. Gets the next one.
Yep. And Darkstar done with Space Dragon.
EmeraldPie, meanwhile, does early wild. You saw how they rolled down that spider track and then rolled right back up. That's the exact point in the room, well, a little bit beyond the point, where Sun Chamber unloads. We need to unload it so that it can change layer to the ghosts. Otherwise, we just have the same Sun Chamber that we had for Flaga, which is not useful.
Although I do believe the technical trick user referred to as early wild is when you do that with some bomb jumps while jamming yourself into the corner. Doing it with Fireball is significantly easier than that.
Yeah, the usual early wild, the reason it's called early wild is because, of course, you're doing it very early in the game, right after you do Flagra normally. And to do that means that you have to do it without the spider ball. You do a UVJ in the corner, usually. Oh, phase on mine.
Phase on mine.
But it is probably plasma locked.
Yeah, at that point it pretty much has to be plasma locked.
Yeah, you're right. There's not anywhere else it could be, really.
Could see a vanilla phase-on suit. That really does just leave the question of where the heck is Plasma Beam?
Can't be in mines. Not at this point. Can't be in Magnar without a suit. It's not on ghosts. Do we have anywhere else in Chozo unaccounted for? I don't think we do.
There is Elder Chamber, but that obviously can't be Plasma.
Of course.
theoretically, that could be like supers and then Phazon Suits and MQB. That would be awful.
Please. No.
Please, yes.
I'm going to do a VMR, yeah.
Yep. Looks like both of our runners are heading for that area of the VMR territory.
Taking a save. That's a good idea for safety.
Yep.
Now this first room we're about to enter actually does the most damage out of any heated Magmor room. It's sort of a way to say, hey, no, stop it. Come back later.
Well, I think it's actually,
Oh,
this
it's like the
room.
lava lake. You're right.
Well,
Super.
there's supers. I
Once we
guess
get
Emerald-
out of lava lake, we're going to take damage a lot slower.
Yes.
We might actually do pretty well, especially if we find another E-tank in Magmor. Now we're slowed to like a fifth of that rate, so we have...
I think it's only double.
Was it only double? You still get the alarm, of course.
But of course.
Not gonna
work
check. Not gonna check storage cavern.
Guess not.
Guess we just want to get to the Vendrana elevator.
Yeah.
Understandable. Have a great day.
Yeah. EmeraldPie might be kind of close here.
If we get hit here, ooh.
It's gonna be down to the letter. Or down to the number.
Spring ball, spring ball. Doesn't get an instant, but we just get
Hey! 23 energy left.
That was down to a hair.
Of course, EmeraldPie did leave quite a few checks left in early Vendrana,
Yeah.
or early Magmor, but
Warrior Shrine, Fiery Shore, both the upper and lower enemies.
also Storage Cavern.
Yes, Storage Cavern I mentioned. There's still a possibility of death, but there's a save station right here. We're probably going to go beeline
Yeah,
straight to it.
immediately. Oh, Darkstar going for Thardis. Whoa. Now I'm curious, where will EmeraldPie be heading back into Magmor to try and get those remaining checks, or will they just be exploring Vendrana earlier?
Probably exploring Fen.
Yeah, if anything, just to get more E-tanks to make those heat runs easier, or just the possibility of Varia, since, well, Varia can't exactly be in Magmor.
Not nice rooms east. Can't be a nice rooms west. Could be in Canyon. Could be in Courtyard, like you predicted. It could be on Momoshida. And it could be in Labs. Yeah. For some reason it didn't mark supers when I put that down earlier. Emerald has supers.
Tracker is very hungry and occasionally wants to eat your inputs.
That is true. Who am I to deny the hungry tracker? Couple of the others hopefully will have something, but there's no guarantees. Couple of the others is missing.
Yep. Alright, let's see. What do the rocks have for us today? You all thought we wouldn't see any rocks today because we didn't start in quarantine monitor? Think again. Or didn't start in quarantine? Think again.
Boink.
The best cutscene.
Flamethrower.
Well, not exactly plasma beam.
Plasma adjacent beam. Almost as good. This is the value brand, okay? You know, we don't have money for no highfalutin whoopee cushion. We just go for a family value fart bag. Is that it? I don't think that's it. Yeah, we're just. Oh. No, that's it. That's it.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
plasma
that's
beam.
plasma.
I was in denial for a second there.
I mean, it does have the same orange color, and yeah, looks like Emerald probably just going to be warping to start to get to phase on.
That's what I would do in this situation.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Darkstar, they do seem to be heading in the wrong direction as Plasma, and as we know, just the late Fen doesn't have anything really of importance. Can't say I blame them considering, you know, Thardis and it's close, but still. From the perspective of the omniscient commentators, that is not the right move.
Now it's worth noting, EmeraldPie doesn't actually know where the Phazon suit is because they didn't fight Ridley. Darkstar has that.
Oh, that is true. Emerald does not know that Phazon is in mines. That could actually be... Emerald does seem to be beelining it to Ridley at this point, though, so... I don't know. Maybe that Ridley fight will allow Darkstar to catch up. You know, with how Darkstar is routing, I imagine they'll take labs in between Farfen and this, so... From a routing perspective, I doubt that's enough time to make up for a Ridley fight. I am going to be curious where Varia ended up being. Cause, perhaps Darkstar will find it, considering it pretty much has to be in Fendrana at this point. I don't think there are many checks that EmeraldPie made that Darkstar probably won't make on the trip to Canyon.
Storage cavern, maybe?
Yeah, maybe Storage Cavern. If it is, that would be a big troll. I guess could also be Elder Chamber.
That would be funny. Worth noting that EmeraldPie has Plasma Beam for this fight, which is the best beam to use with Ribbon. So they're going to have a bit of a better Ribbon fight than Dark Star. There's Grapple Beam and Control Tower.
Yep, there's Grapple Beam. I have to say that Darkstar has been making up the time on their Fendrana runs faster than I expected. This might actually end up being a very close race. I could definitely see Darkstar finding Plasma by the time EmeraldPie finishes this Ridley fight. The real question is, what about Supers? Because Darkstar does not have Supers and is unlikely to find them, so if Phazon is in MQB, that would pretty much be the race right there.
Yeah, that would just decide it. No question.
Plus, I mean, Supers are also just very helpful in final bosses in general. So at this point, yeah, Darkstar hasn't found Varia. That, I don't think, I guess, yeah, there is Ruined Courtyard, but it's either that, Elder Chamber, or, yeah, I guess some of the various Plasma Lockcheck, maybe, like Chozo Ice Temple.
Was that an Varia? It looked like a Metroid.
Yeah, I think that was a Metroid. Supers were in Lava Lake, chat. Yeah, there are not many places where Varia could... Oh wait, you know what? Where Varia could actually be? It could actually be in early Magma. Because there's...
Yeah, I just said it could be in Storage Cavern.
Or, yeah, it could be anywhere in Magmar because Varia is not required.
That's the only Magmar location that we haven't seen, Storage Cavern. Everywhere else we've been to.
Haven't we seen Warrior? Haven't we not seen Warrior Shrine?
No, EmeraldPie did that on the way back.
Ah, gotcha.
They went Warrior Shrine down through Fiery Shore, checked the shore tunnel, and then came back to do a lower Fiery Shore check, which was nothing.
Yes. Various suit in Storage Cavern wouldn't be in logic, but if Varia isn't required, it can be in an out of logic location. So and considering our runners have perfectly logical access to basically all the items without access to just
EmeraldPie forgets
magma.
that there is a save in the Impact Crater elevator.
Yeah, that would have been very convenient considering it's in Phazon. Mine should just warp to start right there.
It's understandable. You can forget these things in the heat of the moment.
Oh, that is true. Varia is required because of the TCA artifact.
EmeraldPie remembers and goes back down.
Oh yeah, and also it could just be somewhere in Lower Mine.
It's not Courtyard.
Yep, not Courtyard.
Canyon's going to be the next check, so we're going to find it in a second here.
Yep. This is going to be a close race. Looks like EmeraldPie is going to get the lead on taking the warp to start into the location, into mines with plasma, but probably not for long. Only like, say, a minute or 30 seconds behind.
This could come down to final bosses.
This very well could be. Or MQB, it could also come down to that.
Have EmeraldPie and Darkstar done different amounts of labs?
EmeraldPie hasn't touched labs at all, I believe.
I mean, obviously they've touched it because they started there, but you know.
Or, Fendrana labs.
No, I'm sorry, I meant to say mines, my bad.
Yeah. I think... I mean, both of them grabbed the artifacts there. There were set artifacts in Central Dynamo, and both of them have all 6 artifacts. So I think both of them just went to Central Dynamo and then bounced.
EmeraldPie struggling with the ore processing climb.
Dark? I guess Dark... start not warping... Oh, just checking the item right here. And just a nothing. Okay. I'm just trying to grab some checks.
I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Maybe they just slipped their mind and they're about to turn around. I'm hoping that's the case.
I think they just have to be trying to grab any last-minute checks they can before they leave, but no, that's not the right move here. So.
Yeah, I don't know why they would think it was. I think they just must be forgetting.
I mean, maybe they're just really trying to hedge in case super missiles are in MQB.
You mean in case Phazon?
Or yeah, in case Phazon's in MQB. That's really the only thing I could think of.
Yeah. Maybe. Or no, MQB is the only place it could really be. That's super bad. For a second, I thought I was about to say PNT, but that is not possible, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we're being too harsh on Darkstar, but just in a race this close, that can definitely matter. EmeraldPie made it all the way down to Central Dynamo in that time.
Yeah.
Darkstar once again going around through upper mines and then probably taking waste disposal.
do they not know the ore processing climb?
Maybe they're just not confident in it.
Oh, they're checking storage depot A.
Oh, that's right, because we haven't been able to check that right until now because of plasma. Yeah, that could very well be Phazon suit.
If this is Phazon suit, that's a game winner.
That would be huge. Nope, just me.
Still the smart routing, I think.
Yeah, probably. Just going around through waste processing, it's not that much slower. Of course, from the omniscient commentary perspective, probably not the right move in retrospect. No
Fungal
eyes
Hall
running,
access
but
is a not in Fungal Hall B.
no.
We've got a few other items. We've got PCA, we've got Elite Quarters, and we've got MQB.
Yep, that's a 1 in 3 chance. EmeraldPie basically just wins the siege right there, or at least at this point.
I do kind of have to go soon, but that'll probably be where I get off if that's where Phazon suit is. I do apologize for leaving you to finish this out. I'm just very tired.
Sleep is important.
Yes, very important. Gotta get your Z's.
Let's see. Just a power bomb expansion.
So it is going to be Elite Quarters or PCA. I at least wanted to see that much.
Yep. Does look like we still have a race on our hands. Because this isn't too much time. Darkstar could theoretically catch up if they do much better on Metroid Prime.
I don't know, it does seem like kind of a big goal. Like, we've only just now gotten into the Omega research room. That is what their room's called,
I mean,
right?
it would definitely be significant. I would definitely say EmeraldPie is the clear favorite at this point, but it's certainly possible.
Yeah, it would have to be a heck of a final losses.
Although, the fact that Darkstar does not have supers does definitely put that even further into the realm of the unlikely.
This is a solid OP so far. Like, textbook. Plus, Ice Pirates is a really good one to get. Like, I would say probably the best because you can freeze them.
Yeah, Ice are probably the fastest of the B pirates to get rid of.
Ooh. You're not supposed to fire the individual shots at OP. Just to fire it and then, like, move your reticle off. So that you can get full charge shots in for either shot. That's not quite the idea. And am I right in that? I feel like I've heard that. Gonna get over in a second.
Yep. is one cycle from EmeraldPie.
Darkstar is still in MQA.
Alright, looks
So
like
it's
PCA.
I just want to see that suit. There
There
it
is our Phazon suit.
Alright, it's great
We haven't seen.
commentating.
Yep.
I will
There you go.
see you later.
Yep.
Enjoy the rest of the scene.
Will do. Though the fact that our runners have basically ended up full clearing mines, this does raise the question of where the heck was Varia? It pretty much had to be someplace bad. Like the least bad option was Jozo Ice Temple. I don't know. We'll have to check in credits later. Now we've seen plasma processing. It wasn't there. Oh, Qmon. It could be Qmon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if it was in Life Grove Tunnel, we would have noticed, because we saw Life Grove Tunnel in the first few minutes of the seed. And both of our runners have been taking heat damage, so it's not like they've just had Varia in disguise this entire time. EmeraldPie taking the elevator back to town. Darkstar being very relieved that MQB does not have the Phazon suit. Alright. Darkstar going into OP, unfortunately not doing well in the AI manip, and OP is giving Darkstar some trouble. That is, again, more bad news for the runner who is already behind. Really just digging Darkstar further and further into a hole. That is not a clean start to the OP1 cycle. We're also not quite seeing Darkstar just hanging out in the pools like you want to do, because when you're in one of the Phazon pools, OP can't teleport there. Well, never mind, we are seeing that. Yeah, Darkstar's cleaning this up, and I'm just being overly judgmental, I guess. This is why I use supers in my OP clears. Although I suppose Darkstar does not have that luxury. I am really curious where Varia ended up being in this seed, though. EmeraldPie finally taking their ship save at this point. Darkstar finding their Phazon suit, and then just immediately turning around to warp to start. Yeah, this might not seem like too big a gap. Darkstar just grabbing the items they need to fight final bosses while EmeraldPie is heading in, but with how the elevators are laid out, EmeraldPie has quite a few minutes behind before getting out. Not quite sure where they were going, if they were trying to warp to start out. EmeraldPie taking the Dev-intended way up through Phazon Core. Oh, getting bullied by Jack. Where's that Jill? I don't know. I'm sure there's some educated runner who can separate Jack and Jill. I just know they're both menaces. Hunting Exo with grapple, that's interesting. I mean, a good chunk of items in Prime are required for final bosses. The real kind of thing with Prime is just, there's a lot of ways to bypass checks just with movement. So because of that, a lot of items end up becoming significantly less useful. So they end up being not required in too many seeds. EmeraldPie getting through their first phase of Exo. For those who don't know, Exo is split into 4 separate sub-chambers, and each sub-chamber is separated into additional phases. For the first 3 sub-chambers, Exo, basically, it starts off with Power and Wave Beam, and then in each additional sub-chamber adds an additional beam to the rotation before it then just does whatever it wants in the last phase. And it looks like Darkstar is actually heading through Reverse Frigate in order to get back to landing site rather than just taking the double elevator through Chozo. I think that's going through the double elevator is almost definitely the faster move, so this is probably not the best, especially considering we don't have the warp to start at the end to skip the last section of Reverse Frigate. agree. At this point, with that decision, yeah, this is looking bleaker and bleaker for Darkstar. Unless we see EmeraldPie take a death on EXO, I think we are pretty overwhelmingly likely to see EmeraldPie pull us out at this point. But, still possible. Here we are heading into Subchamber 3 with the Plasma Beam. I am missing that turnaround shot. Darkstar finally making it out of the frigate, but unfortunately EmeraldPie just has a massive lead on them in the final bosses. We're down to Subchamber 4 at this point. I don't think necessarily that items being required for final bosses is kind of somewhat things with crime. I think it's more just in general in the world there aren't as many hard required checks. There's a lot of checks you can just get space jump bombs and then wave an ice beam. EXO being very rude to EmeraldPie and Chaos Phase, just doing constant charges. Freezing EmeraldPie then charging, that's just rude. But again, would it be EXO if it was polite? Looks to be cleaning up. Not going for the ice spreader shot. Yeah, guess EmeraldPie just believes they can hit those shots. Unfortunately, they just keep getting nailed by that freeze ray. And now EmeraldPie finishing up EXO, and we'll be moving on to Essence. Using some attack cancels to trying. Well, I think they might be actually trying to use pool cancers here. I don't know. Either way, Essence is being rude, so not having too good of luck with it. Yeah, it does seem like they're trying to go for pool cancers here. Pretty nice pull with that. Got a good chunk of damage on Essence stuns there. That is time for EmeraldPie. Coming in with a race time of 1:50.49. GG to both of our runners, and you should see EmeraldPie coming in soon. And here we are. Hello, EmeraldPie. GG on your victory.
Hello. That was a weird one.
Yeah, it was certainly interesting. I have to ask, if you are watching the credits right now, where was Varia? Because we were very curious about that.
I'm waiting for it to show up now.
Yeah, we're very curious. That's a good pun, chat. Thank you. You don't have to steal that. It's mine now.
It was Elder Chamber.
Oof, that's bad. Although fortunately, Varia, or yeah, I guess it was technically required with training chamber access. So, how do you feel about that seed?
That Varia was, I don't know. I thought when I found the super missile in Magmor, I was with that heat run. I thought hopefully that'd be a bit more helpful in the end, but not really. But I was the whole time I'm wondering where is Varia.
Yeah. Fortunately, we did get YouTube did both get a bunch of E-tanks in the end, or in just this seed, so you were able to just do some VMRs to get around that Varia being in an awkward spot.
Yeah. What else happened? I thought that was a starting spot too. I didn't know we could start there. That was a bit of a surprise.
Surprise! Phase on elite.
Out of that, I wondered for a while. I thought, going further until I found the artifact. I thought, what's on the grapple room? Once I found bombs, it was like I could technically go back there, and that could be like Varia or something.
Yep.
But turned out it was an artifact.
Yeah, you and Darkstar were very close for a lot of this seed together. I think what really sealed the difference in the end was Darkstar, after finding their plasma beam, they decided to take some less efficient routing back down to lower mines. They did some checks in the area of Fendrana because they came through labs. We're guessing in order to just try and find super missiles, and they also checked up for storage cache A before heading down to lower mods when they warped into labs. So that slowed them down a bit, and I think was what gave you the time lead you had heading into final bosses.
Oh, that too. Once I beat OP and I didn't see Phazon yet, I was like, oh, it's on the complete other side, I bet now.
Yeah.
But no, it's next to over.
Yeah, you two were very close throughout a lot of this.
Yeah, definitely interesting. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, the random start of starting in mine, that did have some interesting riding locations, especially with that trip back to Talon at the end. You can't just warp to start there. It was actually quite a bit of a trip.
Yeah, I wasn't sure from where Phazon was. I'm pretty sure going through Phazon processing was faster, but I just don't like that room, so I didn't want to go that way.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess.
I've gotten knocked off that room too many times to enjoy going through it.
Well, it worked out in the end for you. That chaos phase, I was certainly not the nicest you. I think there was a time where we saw like 3 charges in a row.
Oh yeah, that that too. And then right after it switched like 3 times in a row.
Yep, Exo doing Exo things. We should be seeing Darkstar finishing up here. Oh, yep, Darkstar finishing with the time of 156.50. Overall, a pretty close race.
Ah, boy.
Hello there, Darkstar.
Hi.
GG to you.
GG.
So you wanna know where Varia was?
Where?
Elder Chamber.
Wow, yeah. When does it waste my time with that?
Yeah, this scene was overall pretty interesting to watch. There was a lot of... This scene was overall very close in the end. I mean, yeah. 6 minutes is pretty close as far as Rando goes. Any thoughts on the seed, Darkstar? Any thoughts on how you played?
Yeah, I think I played alright. There's 1 or 2 decisions I shouldn't have made, I guess would have changed things, but... eh. The start was interesting. Phazon Mines, 2 E-Tanks, Power Suit, yeah.
Good old heart attack to start off the day. Or I guess end the day for us on Eastern time.
Nothing like spawning in front of 2 space pirates.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw it turned around, go through the wave pirate room, go up. Well, couldn't even go that way first, but looked up. I'm like, I don't want to do that with 2 E-Tanks.
Yeah, unfortunately that was the only option. I'm guessing you just routed this pretty much perfectly, Emerald?
I think the big thing that made the difference between the two of you at the end is once Emerald found Plasma Beam, they routed. They pretty much went to grab their Phazon hit and then went straight to Lower Mines. Whereas Darkstar, I think, spent a good amount of time just searching the remaining checks in Fendrana, as well as heading up to Storage Cache A to check that for Phazon Suit. Although you did have the advantage of you had already fought Ridley earlier, those extra checks I think were probably the biggest contributor to slowing you down at the end and separating this at the end. Although it is probably fit to say that those are only just the ones that were most notable near the end.
Yeah, I fought Thardus.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I went through front of Magmor, did the heat run instead of going through labs or Thardus or anything. Just to see if Phazon happened to show up on the way too.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm not really well versed in the heat runs, so. There's for super. Speaking of Magmor, Lava Lake
yeah.
supers.
Yeah,
those
those.
were in Magmor.
Another thing I wasn't getting because, Novaria.
Did you do a frigate at all? A sunken frigate?
I went through frigate to get back to the ship
Okay,
after I got Phazon suit.
got it.
Good old. Well, I mean, we got an Omega pirate, right?
Yeah. He always finds a way to come in. I think it's the first seed in a while also where I haven't seen progression on Tower of Light.
Yeah, that was definitely a shock. It's been very common recently.
I've just started routing it to as soon as I get access to it, I've just been going right for it because it feels like 99% of the time it has something.
Yeah. It was let's see what's fine. I was worried when I didn't have grapple for a while that Phazon was grapple locked, but then I found it in control tower and I was like, well.
Oh, okay. I didn't check where grapple was.
Control tower, yeah. It's funny because Plasma was also in Fendrana Canyon in my last race. Of course.
Randomizer's just conditioning you to go check it next time, only for there to be nothing there.
Yeah.
As we all know, Randomizer runs on the troll engine.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that's all I got.
Darkstar, anything you've got?
Nah, it's GG.
GG's. I don't have anything else either, it's just a weird one.
Alright. As usual, follow the runners, follow the trackers. Follow comp. Unfortunately, other comp had to dip out early just for simple biological needs of sleep. Yeah.
Sleep.
Don't
Yeah.
skip out on that, everyone.
Sleep is important, as I try to remind everyone. But yeah, with that, I think we can all wrap this up. Don't worry, we've got more Prime coming for you, Speed Gaming. So, we will see you all next mission.
Take care.
Yeah.
Thank you.